Hi, I'm Andre Koen. I want to say thank you so much for joining us for this short video on the development of our EID learning plans, our equity, inclusion, and diversity learning plans. And I wanted to go over some of the basic principles behind how the resources have been kind of pulled together, the thought behind some of those resources. And so the first thing that I want to bring to mind is this notion that we're really responding to the all staff survey. And one of the things that we recognized was that there were folks who said, and it's roughly about 70% of folks who completed the survey said that they don't necessarily feel safe or comfortable speaking up. And so we know that safety and comfortability are in fact two different things, but we also know that they're related and they can be sometimes seen upon on a spectrum. And so we wanted to provide educations and education opportunities and tools that will allow people not only to feel safe, but also to feel comfortable, particularly speaking up around racism and discrimination in the workplace. And so that those are important distinctions to make. And so one of the things that we wanted to help people recognize that this is a developmental model, right? So you don't just get off of your couch and run a marathon. There is some practice, there is some work that needs to be done, and so our expectation isn't that people take these trainings and are ready to run a marathon, but they are prepared to take the incremental steps to be able to address racism and discrimination in the workplace, both being able to speak up as an ally as well as an advocate, and to get their own needs met, right? So to be respected in a workplace is extremely important. And so to that end, what we recognize is that oftentimes our intentions and our behaviors are not aligned. And so what we want to do is create an atmosphere that we can align our behaviors and our intentions so that they're closer in alignment. And so what that might look like is that first we recognize that we have a developmental gap between our intentions and our behaviors. And what we want to do is close that gap as much as possible. And some of those tools that we'll use are around this unconscious bias, stereotype threat, microaggressions, reverse discrimination. These are some of the ways in which we'll talk about that. And so ultimately, what we're using to kind of get to the root of that is this Bennett Scale. And on one end of the Bennett Scale, on the one end, if you will, there is this notion of ethnocentrism, right? So my universe, my world is the center of all things. And so I deny that there are differences, right? And then we go to the other end of the spectrum where there's ethno-relativism, where integration happens. And what integration means in this context, which is different oftentimes than our social context, is recognizing that I have the ability to move in and out of cultures. I can integrate myself in and out of cultures, recognizing the importance of their norms, recognizing the taboos, recognizing the social structure, and I know how to augment my behavior to achieve success in a variety of different cultures, right? And so, so when we think about those things, that's what I want us to think about: the fact that this is a developmental model, that we're moving from the couch to the marathon or to the 5K. That this is also recognizing that there oftentimes is a gap between our intentions and our behaviors, and that we want to move along this continuum as we continue to grow, moving from centrism to ethno-relativism, meaning my ethnicity is alongside others, right? As opposed to mine being primary. And we'll talk more about that as we move through these sessions. And I just want to say thank you so much for engaging with us, because it is going to be extremely important in these days, these coming days, that we be critical about our own thinking, that we take responsibility, even though it was not our fault. Things are may not be our fault, but we need to take responsibility so that we can continue to make sure that we're offering the best services possible to our workforce, to our clients, to our patients, to our students, and ultimately to ourselves, so that we may be able to maximize our human potential. So again, my name is Andre Koen. I want to say thank you so much, and we will see you in the next learning. Thanks. Bye.